Before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for the latest global updates. Right now, something extremely dangerous is unfolding in one of the most important waterways on Earth. Explosions at sea. Multiple ships hit within hours, crew members missing, and oil markets reacting instantly. The Strait of Hormuz, the narrow passage that carries nearly 20% of the world's oil supply, is suddenly becoming one of the most dangerous places on the planet. But what exactly is happening there right now? Why are ships suddenly under attack? And could this crisis trigger a global economic shock? Stay with us, because what experts are now revealing about the situation may surprise you. Over the past few hours, alarming reports have emerged from the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway, located between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, is one of the most critical shipping routes in the world. Every single day, nearly 20 million barrels of oil move through this passage. That means energy supplies from major economies across Asia, Europe, and beyond depend heavily on this route. But now, that route is facing serious disruption. Multiple vessels have reportedly been attacked, damaged, or forced to stop their journeys. Rescue operations have been launched. Security alerts are spreading across the region, and analysts say the situation could escalate further. One of the ships involved in the latest incident was a Thai-flagged vessel traveling through the strait. According to maritime authorities, an explosion occurred near the rear section of the ship. Moments later, a fire broke out inside the engine room. The situation quickly turned into an emergency. The ship's captain ordered the crew to evacuate immediately. Lifeboats were launched into the water, and rescue teams rushed to the scene. Thankfully, 20 crew members were rescued by nearby naval forces, but the situation remains serious. 3 sailors are still missing. Authorities believe they were working in the engine room when the explosion happened. Search teams are continuing operations, but their fate remains uncertain. And this was not an isolated incident. Reports indicate that at least 3 vessels were struck within the same day in or near the Strait of Hormuz. That development has dramatically increased concerns among shipping companies and international security agencies, because when multiple attacks occur in such a strategic location, it sends a powerful message. The safety of the entire shipping route may now be in question, and the consequences of that could be enormous. International maritime organizations say that since tensions escalated in the region, more than a dozen vessels have already been affected in various incidents. That number alone shows how rapidly the situation has changed. Shipping companies are now facing a difficult decision. Do they continue sending vessels through one of the most important energy routes in the world? Or do they hold back and risk delays that could disrupt global supply chains? Some companies have already chosen caution. Several vessels are now waiting outside the strait, unwilling to enter until the situation becomes clearer. Others are stranded inside the Gulf, unable to safely exit. Meanwhile, across the Gulf region, security alerts have intensified. Countries, including the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Kuwait, have reported increased defensive activity. Authorities say multiple drones and missiles have been intercepted in recent hours. Near Dubai, reports indicate that drones were detected close to the airport area. The incident caused temporary disruption and left several people injured. Although flights later resumed, the event highlighted just how tense the situation has become across the region. But here's the critical question everyone is asking right now. Is this just a temporary spike in tensions? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a much larger maritime crisis? Before we continue with the latest analysis, if you find these updates helpful, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring you accurate and timely global news. Now, let's look at why this situation matters so much for the entire world. The Strait of Hormuz is not just another shipping lane. It is widely considered one of the most strategically important waterways on Earth. Nearly 1/5 of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow corridor. If this route becomes unsafe, energy supplies across the globe could be affected. Countries in Asia rely heavily on oil shipments passing through this route. Europe and other regions are also connected to these supply chains. Even a short disruption could push oil prices higher and create uncertainty in global markets. And that process may already be starting. Energy markets around the world are reacting quickly to the developments. Whenever tensions rise in the Strait of Hormuz, oil traders immediately begin pricing in the risk. That means even the possibility of disruption can push prices upward. And if shipping through the strait slows down significantly, those price increases could accelerate. Higher oil prices eventually affect everything from transportation costs to electricity and manufacturing. In other words, a crisis in this narrow waterway can ripple through the entire global economy. Security analysts believe the attacks may involve a combination of different tactics. These could include naval mines, drones, missiles, and small vessels capable of operating in crowded waters. The geography of the strait makes defense particularly difficult. While the waterway itself appears wide on maps, the actual shipping lanes used by vessels are much narrower. In some areas, ships must pass through corridors only a few miles wide. This concentration of traffic means even a small number of threats could disrupt shipping. Monitoring the entire area is also challenging. Iran's coastline stretches hundreds of miles along the Persian Gulf. From fishing boats to cargo ships, thousands of vessels move through these waters every day. Identifying potential threats among them is extremely complex. Another concern is the possibility that other groups in the region could become involved. Security experts say that proxy groups operating in Iraq, Lebanon, or Yemen could expand the conflict further. If that happens, additional maritime routes could come under threat. One of the most important is the Red Sea. This region connects to the Suez Canal, another vital global trade route. Shipping in both areas becomes dangerous at the same time. Global supply chains could face serious disruption. At the moment, the situation remains unpredictable. Military forces from multiple countries are closely monitoring developments. Naval patrols have increased in the region, and efforts to secure shipping lanes are underway. However, experts say the coming days will be critical. If further attacks occur, tensions could escalate quickly. If diplomatic efforts succeed, the situation may stabilize. For now, governments, markets, and shipping companies around the world are watching every new development. The Strait of Hormuz has long been considered one of the world's most sensitive geopolitical flashpoints. And the latest incidents are a reminder of just how quickly tensions in this region can affect the entire planet. The big question now is simple. Will this crisis calm down? Will this crisis calm down? Or is the world entering a new phase of instability in one of its most important energy corridors? We will continue to follow this story closely. If you found this video informative, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more global news updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.